So in our heart, we had these two options, if you like, coexisting side by side in our heart. So it wasn't a case of us choosing IVF over adoption or the other way. No. We had both of them playing on our heart, and we wanted to explore one while we had our heart open. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another interesting episode of the Adoptive Parent Diary, a safe place where we talk about everything adoption. I'm Chichi. I'm an adoptive parent sharing my experiences and insights with the hope of encouraging, supporting, and connecting with someone, just anyone, in the adoption community. Today, I'll be talking us through our IVF journey. Oh, yes, we ventured into the world of IVF before becoming proud adoptive parents. So, why did we go through IVF even though we know we will always adopt? So, becoming adoptive parents, we've always known that someday we will adopt. So, like naturally, after marriage, we desperately wanted to start building our family. And we've always had adoption at the back of our mind. Adoption has always been on the table for us. It wasn't a backup plan, neither was it a plan B for us. No. And naturally, we also wanted to have our own child biologically. So in our hearts, we had these two options, if you like, coexisting side by side in our hearts. So it wasn't a case of us choosing IVF over adoption or the other way. No. We had both of them playing on our heart, and we wanted to explore one while we had our hearts open to the other. And what nobody prepares you for is how consuming IVF becomes. Our life all of a sudden revolves around appointments, injections, that's the medication, phone calls, and waiting for that good news to come. We waited, we explored everything. And another thing is, sometimes until you start a journey, you don't know how difficult or how emotional that journey would be. That was how it was for us for IVF. For us, choosing IVF wasn't a case of choosing IVF instead of adoption, because adoption never left our hearts. It was a case of exploring one and keeping our hearts open for the other. So we started our IVF journey full of hope, thinking that by the time we attend all our appointments, follow the process dutifully, do all that we're asked to do, that everything will fall into place. Like me, what I did, because when you start your appointment with the doctor, they will give you everything, all the things that needs to happen. When you start your injection, your appointment, your scan, everything, the dates, and how long everything will take before you come to that stage of pregnancy. So for me, with the hope, I was so positive. I have mapped out everything on my calendar. I said, okay, by this week, I'll have finished my injection. This week, I would have done that. That week, I will do that. And already in my head, I said, so by this time, I will fall pregnant. I even talked about when the baby will come, calculated everything. But nobody prepares you for what will happen next. You don't know, like I always say, sometimes you don't know something until you are in it and you are involved in it. And while we're doing that, at the same time, adoption never left our hearts. We were always still thinking about adoption. It was always there. We never said, okay, we'll do this and forget about adoption. No, because when myself and my husband got married, before we got married, even one of our first dates, we talked about adoption. That we will do this, then go adopt at some point. Even my husband, he wanted us to go straight into adoption, you know? So adoption wasn't, I'll keep saying that, it wasn't a backup plan. It was something we wanted to do at some point in our life. It was something we told ourselves that would be a way also for us to grow our family. But with IVF, when we started this, we never knew how emotional, how exhausting, and how life consuming the journey will become. But we started it. So, this is me telling fellow or prospective moms to be, prospective adoptive parents, or if you're waiting to go into the world of IVF, be positive and be prepared for uncertainties because nobody prepares you for this journey. Looking back now, I can see how IVF has honestly prepared us for where we are today. Because with IVF, we're hopeful, we're positive, and for me, being a Christian, I was praying for the best outcome ever. So IVF prepared me for that journey. And IVF prepares you to be resilient and to be patient because it's a journey, it's an emotion you feel alone. Nobody tells you about it. It is your emotion and it's very consuming. So, how, as parents, you need to be prepared for uncertainties. So, looking back now, I can authoritatively say that IVF and adoption weren't competing in our life. No. They both, IVF prepared us for the journey to where we are right now. IVF is part of our story to becoming parents and to becoming better parents. So, where are you at on your journey? Are you thinking of going the IVF route or thinking of becoming an adoptive parent? Whichever route you choose, but be patient and be resilient. Thank you for watching. So if this video has been helpful, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already so that you're notified when a new video is uploaded. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, love makes a family. See you in my next video.